Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fat Jocks. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being here. If you've seen the show before, you know what to do. But if you haven't, do your friends a favor. Go over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Write a fucking 5-star review. Just do it. It takes 2 seconds. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Fat Jocks Podcast. And if you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, send a nice, short, and sweet email over to fatjockspod@gmail.com. Mr. Brian Vokey, what the fuck are we talking about today?
Well, this is another good one, despite an array of technical difficulties in both studios. Seems like everything went wrong, and yet still we prevailed with an amazing episode. We discuss our weekend gambling recap, which I have a feeling the deeper Bruce and I turn into degenerate gamblers. I think the first half of this episode will all be gambling recaps from now on. We break down the Joe Smith Jr. Maxim Vlasov fight. We get into whether or not Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. And then we break down the dynasty of the San Francisco Giants, their 2010, 12, and 14 World Series champion teams. Do they have a single Hall of Famer in that dynasty? We discuss. You decide. After that, we discuss that fat fucking umpire? Oh, Joe West. Joe West wins a defamation lawsuit, so I probably shouldn't open up with calling him a fat fuck.
Yeah, I can see he got one for something that somebody said on a podcast.
So that fat fuck wins a defamation lawsuit against a liar. All that and a whole lot more. Guys, like and subscribe.
69 offense. He was giving them the business. This fat son of a bitch. He's fat. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He's fat.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
He's fat. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Ripping the 7-iron today, bud. Whoa, boy, was I.
Why were you in so many 7-iron situations?
Well, we were playing a long par 3. So the 7-iron, I'm hitting the 7-iron fucking 175 though, buddy.
That's not something you hear a lot of like real golfers say. Man, my 7-iron was on fire today, boy.
You should have seen me out there with that 52 lob wedge.
And you know that club you use about maybe twice in a weekend? Boy, it was on.
Yeah, dude. Did you watch the Masters at all?
I didn't watch it, but I followed it because I had a couple bets going on. So what happened was one of the people I bet with, I forget who it was. It was either DraftKings or FanDuel. I forget. They realized I hadn't hadn't deposited any money or bet in a while. So like, hey, why don't you take a free Masters play here? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll throw it down. And then I got Hideki Matsuyama.
You got him?
Yeah, I had him. I had Shafafavle, Zalatoris. Dude, when you read these names, I was like, is he Star Trek characters? Who the fuck is playing golf?
Well, dude, Hideki Matsuyama.
Zalatoris.
He did some good work for the Yankees in the postseason. Matsuyama.
Yeah, he sure did. Great head of hair on that guy.
Yeah. Dude,
after
side note,
guys have had, I'm really happy he won the Masters. I got to.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all squared away.
Yeah.
Dude, how much did you have on him?
No, it was just a free play they gave. So I.
It's like a fantasy thing.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy thing. So I finished third out of 60,000 people.
Third?
Third. And you know how much I paid? $40, dude.
Third out of 40,000. The fuck? That should be paying.
Third or fourth out of 60,000.
Damn, dude. That's the first time.
There was just a little action they threw at me to be like, come on, remember, you're good at this, baby. Come on.
Yeah, remember us?
You, baby.
What did first place get?
It was like $100. It was nothing, dude. It was
fucking
nothing.
Scumbags, dude. My brother-in-law won some good money on some shit. I don't know if it was Masters or anything. I had the same deal when I was just running into because the Masters odds are great. Golfing odds in general are great. If you look at them on, I'm a MyBookie guy. Yeah. If you look at him over on MyBookie, dude, the odds are fucking fantastic. So I remember specifically seeing Hideki Matsuyama with great odds, and I was like, what if I threw $5 down on him? Who would care? Nobody would care. And of course I did.
I don't care. Even if you had done it, I wouldn't. There's no possible scenario where I care whether or not you throw $5 down.
You call me in the middle of the night, like, I can't fucking believe you did that.
I can't sleep.
We
were at war with them.
You put $5 on who?
My grandfather left his toenails there.
Yeah,
He probably clipped his toenails. He didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he was just in the trenches. He's just everyone else had trench foot, and your grandpa had perfectly manicured feet.
He's got those little sponges between his toes, and
he's wearing those foam flip flops.
He's got the popsicle stick on his toenails.
Dude, have you seen that thing? I keep getting I don't know why this is in my recommended videos, but it's like this wax they put on it's like these barbers are doing it. They put this wax like on these things. They put it up your nose and they put it like all over your face and they fucking yank it out of your nose. And dude, I swear to God, they're yanking it off these dudes' face and it looks like they're like fucking, dude, I got to send you some of these videos. I don't know why.
Put their fucking heel in your chest.
Dude, it's like legitimately like they're fucking, it's crazy. Like, you know, in a cartoon, whenever somebody's trying to open a door and they have both of their feet up on the wall, that's what it looks like.
It's like in, Austin Powers when he tries to rip the woman's face who isn't a man off.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not a woman, that's a man.
Yeah. Machine gun Joe, please.
Dude, boy, how tough of a time would Austin Powers have in this climate?
Oh, dude.
He would just be punching people and ripping wigs off left and right.
Yeah, dude. Man. And Fat Bastard would be brave. Nowadays we call him Brave Bastard.
This is where you come here to Fat Jocks for cutting edge Austin Powers humor.
Yeah, dude, it's good shit. Yeah, get in my belly. Remember that? Hey, remember that guy when he said, "I'm fucking so horny, baby." Oh man.
You know, the Green Bay Packers all year had a inside joke where if you saw anytime Aaron Rodgers ran in a touchdown or certain Mercedes Lewis, whenever he caught one, they would spread their arms out and go, "I like gold," because the offensive coordinator for the Packers is obsessed with Gold Member.
Damn.
Yeah.
He sounds like a cool guy.
That's how busy football coaches are. They get to see one movie a decade.
Yeah. But it's funny to have a preference on Austin Powers movies also.
And it's also
I'm a Gold Member guy.
Yeah, and also it's funny that your preference is the third one. That Beyonce too, wasn't she?
Yeah, I like that one with Beyonce in it. Dude, did you win anything this week betting wise?
No. Okay, so I told everybody to bet on Joe Smith Jr. And actually, you know what? Because that's going to transition to a long rant about boxing that I need to get off my chest. So why don't you go ahead and tell the folks about your victories first, and then we'll get into the Joe Smith Jr. box.
Well, I'll start with my loss. My loss was big, and it was a dumb bet to begin with, but God did it fucking rip my dick off last night.
I was watching it vicariously. I was living through you, dog. I was stoked on that.
I wasn't even watching. I was play-by-play. So I took a parlay yesterday for the Wizards to beat the Jazz and the Rockets to beat the Suns. And it's a dumb bet. It was, I think I put in $10 and it would have paid $3.92, which is, you know, that's what I'm looking. I'm not one of these fucking nickel bet guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of, I don't want to.
I think everybody would say you are a nickel. If you're only betting $10 at a time, you're essentially a nickel bet guy.
I'm a nickel bet guy, but I'm
going like you're a baller. You're coming in a shark skin.
No,
suit,
you
like
son of a bitch.
You're in casino. You're like, listen, I don't fuck with nickels. I throw down sawbucks. Okay.
No,
not double sawbucks, but single.
Oh, you son of a bitch. No, what I do is I want to bet on something with I want to bet $10 to win 500. I don't want to bet $10 to win $12.50. If that clears up any misconception. Yeah, I want wild odds. That's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. So the odds were crazy. $10 wins you $3.92. I don't remember what those odds are, but I know I like them. And so I think it was like 30.
Just do the rest of the hour of the podcast is you trying to do the math to figure out what the odds are.
I haven't told. Okay, so the Wizards won handily. Well, they were winning for a while handily, and then they ended up only winning by like 3 or 6 or something. And then the Rockets were down all game. They were down by like 20 at one point, brought it back within 3 at one point, and then they ended up losing by like 9. And that was all in the very end of the game where they brought it back.
I mean, but like about 50 seconds left, and it was like a 4-point game.
Yeah. And I was watching play-by-play on my phone, which I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Shooting foul? What? I don't know anything about basketball. So like, who's the foul on? Who's on foul, basically. And so I'm also dumb. So I would see them be down by like 22. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's only 12. You know, like, oh, nice. And I'm like, oh, no, fuck. Yeah, I'm not good when the numbers when you get to the top of a 10 thing. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm trying to carry shit in my head. I don't fucking know. And so they ended up losing, ripped my dick off, whatever. $10 out.
Close. But
It was shockingly close. You got to admit.
It was very close, and it was thrilling to follow, even though I had no dog in the fight. But the funny thing is, you're about to get into a story about your winning bet, but so you lose that parlay, and then I text you and I go, Matt Chapman's 2 for 3, and you go, oh fuck, I forgot about that bet.
Same thing. Whenever I was putting that money down yesterday, I was looking at other bets to put down, and I was like, oh, okay, who's pitching? I was like, oh, look at some baseball. I've been betting here and there on baseball. I think I put down like $1.50 for Trevor Bauer to throw a no-hitter today. That pays about fucking 100. That pays about 150 grand. Dude, my guess, I don't even
thrown a no-hitter.
No, he's due. He's due, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, my guess is that, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but Trevor Bauer, they're scoping him hard for some foreign substances right now. So I imagine he goes out and has an off day today because he's not using as much as the sticky stuff. But so Matt, I see that Madison Bumgarner's pitching. That poor son of a bitch. He fucking can't throw. He can't, he couldn't touch his own ass if his hands were in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, well, let's see who is on the A's that they're playing against the A's, who are fucking terrible right now. So I was like, oh, Matt Chapman. I like Matt Chapman a lot. He's pretty solid overall. I like the guy. And then I was like, all right, fucking Matt Chapman. Let's do what we can do. So then I put down literally, I think $2.50 for Matt Chapman to get 3 hits and the A's to win.
Not crazy. I'm surprised you had such good odds on that because it seemed pretty certain the A's were going to win. Now, it's 3 hits. I guess 3 hits.
The A's were 2-7 going into the game yesterday, I believe.
And it's not very often a player gets 3 hits.
No, and Matt Chapman's been having a little bit of an off year so far, even though, like I said, it's only fucking 9 games into the season. But that's besides the point. Your boy did it. He was 2 for 3 or 2 for 4 in the 5th inning. And then he, I think, grounded out in like the 7th. And then I remember trying to do the math, which obviously, as we've explained, does not go well for me usually. And so I was like, he can get up in the 9th. He might get up in the 9th. So same thing. I'm following play-by-play, doing the fucking lineup math. And he got up, I think, with 2 outs in the top of the 9th and smacked an RBI single.
Yeah, 2 outs. I didn't know that. But I believe
so.
That's a beautiful thing about, like, there's like basketball. There's times where I'm like, I need a guy to get 4 more points or just like a rebound or something to just put me over the top. And, but it'll be a blowout. And so they bench their starters. See, that doesn't happen in baseball.
Baseball, they kind of go for it the entire game, unless they're up by fucking 20.
What do they do then? What does a baseball player do? Just foul out on purpose? Or?
You don't foul out. You keep doing your thing. You keep hitting. You don't steal bases. You don't take an extra base. You don't go for 2. If you hit one to the wall, you're going to basically, you're never going to go for a triple.
Right.
Which is interesting that they, like that time that they got like unwritten rules when the Padres were way up and Tatis hit a grand slam. Which is like, what are you supposed? Yeah, it's fucking great. What are you supposed to do? Obviously, you're not going to pimp the home run on that thing, but fucking go for it.
Especially these days with incentive contracts. It's like,
yeah,
do what you got to do.
Did you by any chance, just quickly, did you see the Nick Castellanos, Jack Flaherty thing? No, it wasn't Jack Flaherty. The Cardinals and Reds had the bench clearing brawl. It wasn't a brawl. They were kind of just jabbing.
No, I haven't been watching a lot of baseball. I mean, my Sox are on a 7-game winning streak, so I'm getting
Yeah, they're hot after starting out like shit. But dude, just quickly, Nick Castellanos hit a bomb off Jack Flaherty, and really, he didn't show him up. He more or less pimped it to his bench, like, let's fucking go. And then the next game he got hit. Nick Castellanos is pretty annoyed by the whole thing. He picks up the ball and he gives it to the pitcher. He goes, you want this shit? You want this shit? And then he throws it to his own bench. Yeah. And then he goes around to third, and then he scores on a wild pitch, and the pitcher's coming in to like cover, and he like catches the ball and kind of dives with him to like tag him out. He's safe, but the pitcher is on the ground and he gets up, and he like pretty much Allen Iverson, Tyronn lose him.
Stepped right over him?
Like, oh, like, no, in his face, like, yeah. And then fucking, of course, everyone fucking went crazy. It was awesome. I gotta send you the video. It was sick, dude.
I love that. I love that because baseball is so like, unwritten rule, respect the game or whatever. I love when a dude just doesn't respect the game. I'm a big
dude, Trevor Bauer, that's why I sent you the vlog, one of his vlogs today. He's like, dude, that was sick, man. That fucking rock. He's literally like, this is what the game needs. He's like, I'm tired of all this thing. He's like, he wasn't showboating. He's like, well, maybe Jack Flaherty just needs some thicker skin. Dude, Trevor Bauer's going off in the vlogs. You got to peep these. They rock. And it's like sick behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I watched the first trip to Oakland, road trip to Oakland, and I watched the trip to Colorado vlogs.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm not watching the juicy shit. Like those things are cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I love seeing how a ball player lives. I love seeing that like this shit. The one thing that stuck out to me, did you see the size of the fucking steak they left in his hotel room?
Yes.
Like, he went, so they're showing the hotel room because of, especially I guess now because of COVID restrictions, ball players, like they're not really eating together downstairs or whatever. So they bring him food up to their room, and because they get, the game's over at 10 o'clock. It's late. It's hard to go out to a restaurant. So he goes back to his hotel room, Trevor Bauer, and he's filming a vlog, and he shows the food. I mean, this steak looked like a Flintstone steak.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, in his vlog, he's fucking riding bird scooters. He's going out to Silver Lake Ramen. Did you see the end of that video where he first time back in LA and he's like, so let's see if I can find the house that I'm staying in. Like he's like, I don't and then he gets there, he's like, I think this is it. And he turns on the lights and it's a fucking mega mansion. It's fucking huge. It's just so funny.
I didn't see that part. He was just trolling.
No, I think he was literally like, he's just like, we got $100 million contract. He's like, I haven't been to this. He's literally like, I haven't been to this place yet. Whatever. He just fucking goes to this huge place. So sick, dude.
Yeah.
What about your bets? What do you got?
So I told everybody to bet on Joe Smith knocking out Maxim Vlasov in the 10th round, TKO. And I got to admit, I came in, I saw Maxim Vlasov's record and I looked it up live on the last episode. I saw that he had never been knocked out, but he was he looked like a serviceable, seasoned vet, kind of nothing special. I walked away from that fight a Vlasov fanatic. I love him. Did you watch any of that fight?
I didn't get a chance to. No,
dude. So first of all, what happened was Vlasov, in some, I wouldn't go as far to say like it was egregious, but I feel in my bones that he won that fight. And I knew he was going to have a tough go. I think I said it on the last episode, but like a Russian fighting in the United States, he's not going to get the judges aren't going to be lenient on him. He's going to have to finish him off. But
dude, America rocks. They're like, fuck you, dude. Even if you win, you don't win.
Yeah, it was. I have a lot to say about this fight, but first off, let me just say this: obviously, it went to decision. The decision went majority. So it was one judge had it a split right down the top, draw 113-113 or 115-115, whatever. And then the other two judges had Joe Smith up by 2 rounds each. So it was 115-113 or whatever. So it was razor thin, very close. I felt like Vlasov won that fight. I felt like Joe Smith came out sluggish, looking bad. And one thing I love about Maxim Vlasov is have you ever watched Roy Jones Jr. fight? He has that. He's herky jerky, sticks his head out. Right. And he like kind of sucks you in and it's like very chaotic and you can't really plan for it. It looks insane because you got this guy who's ripped, much more impressive body Joe Smith has over the Maxim Vlasov. And Vlasov is just sticking his face right out, eating these punches from Joe Smith that would just kill you or I. But overall, he just outboxed, more energy, more activity, more hits landed. And I became a big fan. And then through the story, through the fight, they show his wife and how she had like fucking planes, trains, and automobile adventure trying to get to see him fight.
Yeah. And
because of COVID, she had to go through 5 different countries and she was like stopped in 3 of the countries. And in Vlasov, I found out he's a 16-year pro, never had a title fight. He was like 45-3.
I think he's 45 years old. I was like,
no, he's 34 years old, but he was 45-3, never had a title fight. This is his first title fight. His wife is like doing everything she can to get to this fight. Meanwhile, they're selling fucking Joe Smith Jr. as the blue collar fighter, which I like Joe Smith. I like him. It's not his fault. You go with whatever makes you money, however they brand you. But that blue collar fighter is the new Great White Hope code where it's like, it's a white American fighter. That's all it means. Because what does blue collar mean? It means you're implying that he came from nothing, right? Every boxer, you don't box if you come from something. That's one sport. There's no rich kid boxers. It's blood money. Every single boxer is a blue collar boxer. It's insane. You're just say white. That's what you mean. American. It's so fucking obnoxious. And this guy, 16 years of getting his brains bashed in, never even had a title fight. Both these, and I don't like to listen to post-fight analysis before we record. I know it's not a big deal, but I have fun giving my takes and my thoughts on a fight and then seeing what Max Kellerman or Teddy Atlas and all them have to say, because I just want to see, like, I'm like, I wonder how, they see it. And if I could cut it, in a high pressure boxing analysis, whatever, it's nerd loser shit. But I listened to Teddy Atlas before this. And one thing he pointed out that I didn't know that Maxim Vlasov is a top ranked boxer, because that was a top ranked fight and Joe Smith is a top ranked. So they're both promoted by the same guy. The fight, it's Bob Arum owns Top Rank, but whoever was below him was at the fight. And at one point in this fight, Maxim Vlasov ducks a punch and Joe Smith accidentally punches him on the back of the head, which is illegal. And if you get punched in the back of the head, the rules are you're allowed 5 minutes to recover. Now, you're supposed to go to a neutral corner when you get 5 minutes. You're not supposed to be able to receive instruction or whatever. Vlasov goes to his corner. He's getting instruction. He shouldn't have done that. But what you see...
Did he get docked off of that?
No, he didn't get docked because it was too chaotic. But what happened was the top rank promoter starts screaming at the ref. And you see so openly how much Top Rank wanted Joe Smith to win this fight. And then after I heard Teddy Atlas point that out, I was like, oh yeah, that is what that was. The other thing that clicked in my mind is that they didn't do a single story on Maxim Vlasov. Every time they went to a commercial, they showed dummy Joe Smith in a reflective vest and a hard hat, like cutting a tree down. And they're like, he's a member in good standing of the Tree Cutters Union, Local 632. And it's like, oh, you mean he's so bad at boxing, he still has a job? Like, why is it cool that he's a union? Yeah. I don't know. I just like, I started to it's not Joe's fault, but I started to turn on him because they're selling one guy as this blue collar fighter while they're rolling out the red carpet for him to have a victory. You got another guy who's been getting his brains bashed in for 16 years. This is his first title fight and he fights the best fight of his fucking life and nobody gives a shit. To me, that's a little more blue collar if you want to have a blue collar off. But I just don't understand this angle. So nonetheless, I lost the bet. Maxim Vlasov probably won't get a rematch, and he probably is going to end up like Muhammad Ali it's like, dude, you got to stop fighting that way. I mean, it's like really entertaining. I strongly recommend everybody watch this fight because it was 12 rounds of just fucking brawling. But when you use your head as kind of the way to tire out the other boxer, I can't imagine, I think he would be having a hard time figuring out if he was up by 10 or 20.
The Homer Simpson method of fighting is not what people should be actually doing.
Yeah. So, but usually we like to bet on fights and give previews of the next fights, but there's not next week. The fight is Jake Paul and Ben Askren.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. About that. How do you bet on that? I don't know.
Who are you cheering for?
I don't even know who Ben Askren is.
I don't quite either. I did see. Did you see did you see that press conference though, where Ben Askren like got whatever too close to him and like pushed Jake Paul, and Jake Paul fucking like punched him he punched him like a little brother punches another little brother like in the back, like he punched him in the fucking back. It was very funny.
Showtime, baby. 22 days away.
The champ is here, baby. The champ is here, baby.
22 days away.
Here, baby.
Bro, you're
Bitch. Don't fucking touch me, bitch. Get the fuck back here. Come on.
No, I didn't see that. And then the fight after that, there's a featherweight championship fight the week after, the 2 weeks from now. And then it's Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Alvarez. And then it's Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, which those two, this 2 weeks in a row of fucking sweet fights. But
yeah, anyway, we got to have someone on to talk. We'll have someone on to talk about them. I'm not teasing anything. I'm just saying we'll get somebody good to come on and talk about them.
Let me just check my notes and see if there was anything. Oh, okay. So I guess the only other thing I wanted to say is that this means Joe Smith is probably going to fight with Artur Beterbiev, who is the light heavyweight champion. He's the real champion. And they're both top ranked. So
are they both blue collar guys?
Dude. Fucking Beterbiev or Beterbiev, I forget how to say it, is gonna if Joe Smith looks anything like he looked against Maxim Vlasov, he is walking into a death mission. He's going to get fucking slaughtered. Beterbiev he punches like a heavyweight, but he's in the light heavyweight. It's going to be so if that match happens, bet the house on Beterbiev. Although you'll probably only win like a house and a driveway. You won't win you won't win anything good.
Yeah. See, dude, that's not my kind of bet, dude. You know me. You know me.
Okay,
I go for broke.
Bet on Joe Smith. You'll win 9 houses if he wins that fight.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Anyway, them's my thoughts on the boxing. All right, let's get into the boy himself, Julian Edelman. Did you watch his retirement video?
I didn't. No,
it stunk.
Didn't I haven't watched. All I heard is that I know he failed a physical and then he retired after that.
Yeah, he failed a physical. Patriots terminated his contract and then he retired. Which the fact that he even took the physical makes me think that his ass would have gotten out there anyway with whatever was broken on him. I don't know if they've announced what aspect of the physical he failed, but
yeah,
he made a dumb video where he put a director's chair out on Gillette Field and they film him for like 30 seconds, just kind of taking it all in, looking at the stadium while they play audio clips of Edelman highlights like, Edelman, how did he make that catch? Oh my God, the greatest postseason receiver in the history of national football or whatever. And he's just kind of looking around. And then it's like, I don't know if he was in a rush. I don't know if Bill Belichick only gave him like 8 minutes.
I was just going to say, do you think that once they're like, well, you don't technically work here, you could rent it out? I don't know.
Yeah, so I think he gave it one take and he sounded all chopped up and like kind of nervous and dumb. And it was just not pulled off very well. But great receiver. Do you remember that $100,000 bet he had with Tom Brady at the Kentucky Derby? That's what I think. Whenever I think of Edelman, he was holding a tiny football.
Throwing a football at what did he have? He could throw it farther or throw it and hit something?
He had to hit a sign on a building with a tiny football, and it was like real far away. But remember, he was drafted as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a blue collar guy where it's like he was drafted as a quarterback. I think he was undrafted. He played quarterback in college. So okay, he like went late in the thing, played quarterback, I think at Kent State or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, man. It's these guys, because the kind of what we were talking about before, what the thing on the docket is whether or not he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm so sick of sports media. I kind of checked in again to see what everybody else was saying about Edelman, and everybody's like, the fact that you would even pose this question on the day he retired is disrespectful. Can't the guy have a day? And it's like he's a millionaire. Every day is his day. Who gives a shit? I'm sure it's not hurting his feelings that people. And then the other thing. So everybody starts off their premise with it's disrespectful to even talk about this right now. And they end with, but the fact that you even are having this conversation says how damn fine of a football player he was. And people get like, they're really wrapped up in Edelman. Edelman's kind of cool though, because he's like the Jewish representative of the NFL. And it's like, if you know anything about football, there's quite a few people who, don't have the best opinion of the Jewish people. And so it's really nice of him to kind of hold the NFL's hand through learning how to not be anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
That was probably his biggest contribution to the NFL, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you got Miko Grimes being like, well, we the real Jews.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I don't think anyone's arguing who's the real people, but
usually when you hear somebody arguing about who's real Jews or not, they're not like us.
They're not. Yeah. They're not like, no, I swear it's us, not you.
But never made a Pro Bowl. Can you get into the Hall of Fame if you've never made a Pro Bowl?
That's a good question. And it's also his stats aren't really that unbelievable. I mean,
3,000-yard seasons. A lot of receivers have had 3,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, but I mean, only 36 career touchdowns. That's not that impressive.
Yeah, it's like I understand the guy crushed it in the playoffs, but
he only had 5 playoff touchdowns.
But also, like, not very many Patriots didn't crush it in the playoffs. I mean, James White won a Super Bowl. He scored a Super Bowl winning overtime. The only overtime Super Bowl game ever was the Falcons Patriots, and James White ran that touchdown in. Most people don't even know who James White is. Like, look at Malcolm Butler's just got cut a second time. You know, he picked off Russell Wilson in the end zone there. Like,
yeah,
Patriots players kill it in the playoffs because they're a good team. So, you know, Wes Welker killed it. Danny Amendola killed it. I don't know. To me, it's like, no way.
Yeah. He's very Madison Bumgarner-esque, honestly, where it's like, I don't know. Kind of the same thing of raising the same question as Madison Bumgarner, where it's like, yeah, what the fuck is happening with this stupid fucking camera? Whatever. Madison Bumgarner is fine. He's not unbelievable. I mean, he had an unbelievable playoff run that year, but
here's the thing about Madison Bumgarner. You know what's cool is Football Reference and Baseball Reference. They what they do to give you a perspective on people is they'll give you a comparable list of players statistically.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see where people are grouped in. And I looked up Madison Bumgarner, and I can't even remember the fucking guy's name. They said it was like Sid Hernandez or something.
Yeah, it's
guy from the 80s on the Mets.
Yeah, they rank him his world. The biggest thing is that he has had 3 World Series titles, and he's kind of a Julian Edelman type, where he's a lights out dude in the playoffs, especially postseason. He has overall in the postseason, his ERA is, I just lost it, 2.11, which is good. But I mean, it's that 2014 World Series where he won 2 games, got the save in another game, which there was some kind of technicality. I think that they were up and down a little bit, so he didn't technically get a win in that one, or it wasn't long enough. But he got through 21 innings in that World Series, through 1 complete game. And then he had that game 7 in 2014 where he came in and
pitched
threw
5 innings.
5 innings at the end of the game on like 2 days rest. And one of the most lights out postseason pitchers I've ever seen.
I mean, his World Series ERA is 0.25.
Yeah, so 0.25. That specific World Series, it was 0.43. But they rank his World Series that year the 5th best of all time. And of course, this is what I hate about baseball. Is they're like, well, yeah, he was good, but right here they're like, you should have seen San Koveski in 1920. Yeah, the top 3 are 1957, 1920, and 1905.
Yeah,
and I think
he shit the bed, hit 5 home runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, and it's like they also, I don't know. Somebody think a stand-up had a joke about this, is that they shouldn't count stats in sports before black people were allowed to play. And it's just like, I don't really give a shit about what dudes were doing before 1970.
There's a lot of befores. You shouldn't count golf scores before metal was around. They used to hit with wood.
Yeah, dudes are breaking their clubs like you break a bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what?
Yeah. You can't compare Tiger Woods. His fucking driver's the head of the club is the size of my head. You know,
yeah.
The other guys are playing with knotted fucking ivory or whatever.
Yeah, you had to make your own clubs.
Knotted oak. I mean, this ivory's not a wood. You fucking dummy.
Didn't it? I want to be
Cut
so rich.
That part out.
I want to be so rich. I have knotted ivory clubs.
Dude, so here's Bumgarner's stats: 4-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion. That's not really a stat, though. That's, I mean, whatever. Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year, 2014. World Series MVP, NLCS MVP, both 2014. 2-time Silver Slugger Award. He is one of the better.
He's one of the better hitting pitchers. Yeah.
And he won the Babe Ruth Award. Most of his awards are all happening in 2014.
Yeah.
52 and 2/3 innings pitched, most ever in a single postseason, 2.5 career World Series ERA, and the only pitcher with 2 career tied with one other pitcher for 2 career Grand Slams.
Is the other pitcher Mike Hampton?
No, it's Tony Cloninger.
Mike Hampton he hit like 16 home runs as a pitcher, I think in like 2002 or something. He was a beast. Yeah, but dude, I mean, the Giants are so good at fucking running players into the ground, dude.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you because, first of all, as of right now, I think the same as Edelman as I do about Mad Bum, is that I don't think either of them are Hall of Famers. I think they have a special, unique place in the history of their sport, respectively.
Yeah.
But as far as Hall of Fame concerned, no, you got to be real. I mean, it's the best of the best for
you got to be good, and you got to be good for a long time
period of time.
Yeah.
So But the question I wanted to pose to you, my baseball friend, do the 2000 the Giants had a dynasty? Are they the most recent dynasty?
Yeah,
there's no
definitely.
2010, 2012, 2014 World Series. They won it every even year, 3 times to start the decade. Now, the only Hall of Famer I see on that roster. Now, I don't know if like somebody like Edgar Renteria or somebody like that, which he's not. He would be in the Hall of Fame already if he was a Hall of Famer. But I mean, they might have had some veterans I'm forgetting. But as far as Giants from the Giant system, spending the majority of their time as a Giant through that dynasty, I think the only Hall of Famer from that team is Bruce Bochy. That's it.
Jesus Christ. Fucking see, dude, see what you just said Bruce Bochy's name and my fucking whole entire shit just busted down. What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, now you're holding that microphone like you're fucking Steven Tyler.
What the fuck was that, dude? What the fuck? I'm sorry. Holy shit. God damn, yeah. Dude, as soon as you besmirch Buster Posey, my whole fucking life falls apart. Jesus Christ. What the fuck just happened?
I also besmirched Tim Lincecum.
Yeah. Sorry. Give me half a second. Jesus Christ, dude. Sorry. I mean, what the fuck just happened?
Your self-esteem is so low that you keep asking for half a second, dude. You can have a whole second.
Dude, don't fucking Tony Robbins me. You deserve a full second. Dude, I can't believe the timing on that. Holy shit. Okay. Fucking hey. What the hell is happening in here? All right. Okay, my bad, dude. Holy shit. The only Hall of Famer you see is Bruce Bochy. You motherfucker. I mean, just to start out here, Edgar Renteria is out of Hall of Fame contention because he was on the Hall of Fame ballot, I'm reading right here, in 2017 and received just 2 votes, which makes him ineligible for further consideration by the baseball.
I didn't think he would, but I knew he had he played from like the 90s he played for like 20 years.
Yeah. Buster Posey is a Hall of Famer.
You think so?
Absolutely. Buster Posey is the best catcher in, I would say, the modern era, other than maybe him and Yadier Molina are probably right up there next to each other. But I mean,
here's some stats on Buster Posey. Before you go into your rant, let me just read these stats. And this is from a Bay Area newspaper, so it's a little biased. It says Posey has one of the most impressive resumes of any catcher in the 21st century, starting for 3 title-winning clubs, securing an MVP award, Rookie of the Year honors, 6 All-Star nods, 4 Silver Sluggers, a batting title, and a Gold Glove. There are few honors Posey hasn't received as a player, but there are many voters who may object to his enshrinement due to the lack of sustained offensive production through his career. And let me finish with this. Entering the 2021 season, Posey has 140 career home runs, 673 career RBIs, which are far fewer than the 932 RBIs 9-time Gold Glove Award winner Yadier Molina racked up in 17 seasons with the Cardinals.
Yadier Molina and Buster Posey, they're catchers. Catchers are not known for being good hitters. So to win a MVP as a catcher is unbelievable. I think the only other one to do it is Joe Mauer in the last like a million years. Because right here, only 18 MVP awards have been earned by catchers. And Yogi Berra, Roy Campanella, Johnny Bench, and Mickey Cochran are responsible for 10 of them. Mm-hmm. And so Joe Mauer easily going to be in the Hall of Fame. Buster Posey, catchers' offensive numbers can be so bad, and as long as they're good at what they do offensive or defensively, everything else is kind of by the wayside.
Right. Yeah. I mean, McCann couldn't hit forever, and he was starting on several competitive winning teams.
Yeah. I mean, I would say by position, that if you look at an average in the MLB, catchers have the worst batting average.
Yeah. I mean, they always bat 9th.
They always are low in the lineup. And it's like Buster. I mean, dude, I would argue that out of all of those people, Buster Posey is the only Hall of Famer. I don't even think Tim Lincecum is a Hall of Famer.
I don't think Tim Lincecum is, but we'll get into Tim Lincecum in a second. I want to hear your So you're just saying that based on his defensive skills as him as a catcher, that's why he's Hall of Fame worthy?
Defensive skills and the fact that he won an MVP as a catcher. That's very big. I mean, looking at his stats versus Yadier Molina's stats, it's like Yadier Molina is decent. I mean, he has 2,000 hits. He's hitting a career 282, Yadier Molina. That's pretty solid.
Really good.
Yeah, but I'm not arguing that Yadier Molina is a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yes,
but I think Buster Posey, out of all of those people, would be the only one to be in the Hall of Fame. Do you know what Buster Posey's career batting average is?
What?
302.
No.
100%. I'm looking at it right here. Batting average 302. That MVP
302?
Yeah, that MVP season, he hit 24 home runs, 103 RBIs, 336 batting average. He's hit pretty much, I don't think he's ever hit below 2019 was his worst year, and he was like pretty injury ridden that year. He hit 257. Other than that, he hasn't hit below 280, got up to 336. He's had 4 seasons above 300. He won rookie of the year, MVP.
Yeah, I read all that.
3 championships. And he's back catching, dude. I don't know if you've seen any stats of him this year, or video of him this year, but he's been fucking lasering dudes at second base. He's making unbelievable throws.
Really? Okay. Well, let me just. I had to double check. His career batting average is 302. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. You know what? Buster Posey, maybe. Tim Lincecum, no. Tim Lincecum had 4 good years.
You know what Buster Posey is also responsible for?
What?
Ending being able to truck the catcher. That was the end of that whenever he got injured in that game. You remember that?
Who trucked him? I do remember that.
Some shithead on the Marlins. I don't remember. Some nobody.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
If you're listening, sorry for calling you a nobody, but you are.
If you're listening, we're doing great.
So that was, do you remember that play? Because that was
yes,
kind of the same thing of Tom. It's like a Tom Brady rule type thing where it's like, you injured.
Didn't he?
Fucking no way, dude. Fucking twisted his ankle 360 degrees.
Yeah.
It's a video you wouldn't like to see.
Yeah, he played first for a while there. Okay.
He's back catching this year. Yeah, he was playing first for quite a while.
Tim Lincecum is the other star. I mean, you don't consider Hunter Pence or...
No, Hunter Pence.
Contention for that.
I wouldn't consider Hunter Pence a Hall of Famer. No, I would.
Lovely.
Yeah, Aubrey Huff. He's in a Hall of Fame, not a baseball Hall of Fame, but probably like a baseball racism Hall of Fame. Aubrey Huff is up there. Him and Kurt Schilling might go into the Hall of Fame together.
Oh yeah, Aubrey Huff was the guy who was like anti-mask and super.
Yeah, he's all over the place, dude. But what about? Yeah, I mean, even Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence is a fun player to watch. He's like a good veteran presence in your locker room, but he's only hitting 279 career. He hit 096 last year.
Pablo Sandoval was another one of the stars of those teams. He bombed so hard with the Red Sox. It was horrible.
That fat bastard, yeah.
Talking about how much he missed his grandma and shit. I think he moved his grandma out to Boston. Jesus. He was a star in San Francisco, the Panda people.
Oh, yeah, he was incredible. Dude, imagine what hell it was for Aubrey Huff to have to be in fucking San Francisco his whole career. And he probably could not. Dude, I would have loved to have been in on that. John Rocker style.
Listen to Lincecum's 4 years, though. And from 2008 to 2011, he won 2 Cy Youngs. He went to 4 All-Star games. He was the strikeout leader 3 times. He won he pitched 2 no-hitters. Actually, his no-hitters came later in his career. He won 3 World.
That's what fucked him up is that no-hitter they let him pitch. They let him throw 156 pitches or some bullshit.
And but he would not. I mean, he was built not to last. I mean, the way he throws, like he was just murdering his tendons. But he also barely pitched in 2 of those World Series. He was only good in 1 of them.
There was one of those World Series where I don't think he pitched at all. He was on the team for a while, not really doing dick.
He pitched 2 innings in the 2014 World Series.
In relief?
Yeah, 2 relief pitches, 2 relief innings, shutouts, and then his back spazzed, and he had to leave. He pitched, I think, 5 innings in the 2012 World Series. So Lincecum had a great 4-year run, but it was over. I mean, they call him the freak for a reason. You watch the way he throws; it's just no way it was going to last.
And he loves the reefer, brother.
Yeah, back in the time, I mean, it wasn't legal yet. It was hard.
Remember, it was a big deal when he got pulled over with weed.
Yeah, he's a little bit of Ricky Williams. I think he was like a kind of guy who's like, I'm not Michael Phelps type of guy. I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to keep on ripping these bongs, dude.
Yeah.
If it comes from the earth, so it cannot hurt. You know?
Dude. Ricky Williams kicks ass.
That's what Gaia says.
Mother Gaia, dude.
Yeah.
You're a big Mother Gaia guy.
A huge Mother Gaia guy.
Yeah. I mean, Tim Lincecum, dude, it's if you win 2 Cy Youngs, what does that give you? Is the Hall of Fame about longevity? Is the Hall of Fame about I mean, it's kind of the same argument we were just making.
I'm telling you, you have 4 seasons, or you come out. If you only have 4 seasons, you win 4 Cy Youngs, and you're the best pitcher for 4 years, and then you stink for the next 6 years.
Yeah, if he would have retired earlier.
Yeah, if he would have Roberto Clemente or something, he would probably make the Hall of Fame. Not that that's a cool thing, and I'll respect, God rest his soul, to Roberto Clemente.
Yeah. I mean, think about it this way, though. Pitchers with double Hall of Fames, 2 more than 1 Cy Young. I mean, Roger Clemens has 7 Cy Youngs. That's but I mean, here's the list. Let's see if people with 2. Tom Glavine, Bob Gibson, Roy Halladay, Gaylord Perry, your favorite player. I mean, no, Tim Lincecum's more of like a Johan Santana type. Remember Johan Santana? He was good for a couple years, and then he fucking ate dick. So I guess if Johan Santana's not a Hall of Famer, then neither is Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, I mean, Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, not a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's not.
I think he's gonna be. Yeah, I mean,
the guy had equal amount of interceptions as he has touchdowns thrown. It's like, I think it's like exactly the same. Where's my video? What the hell's going on here, folks?
This shit's all over the place. Yeah, okay, so Johan Santana had the same fate as Edgar Renteria, so he went into the Hall of Fame voting for 1 year, didn't get enough votes, he's gone.
Yeah. You know who's going to be on the ballot next year is, I believe, Lincecum.
Are you sure? I think you have to be out of the league for 10 years.
5 years.
Oh, okay.
2016 was his last year.
I would be interested to see. I would be very interested to see that.
I say no, but you convinced me on Buster Posey. But I say Edelman, no. Eli Manning, no. Bumgarner, as of now, no. If maybe he can have some kind of Verlander Twilight type thing go on, and fix it up. But as of now, no. Posey, yes, but Lincecum, no. Yeah, Bochy for sure though.
Why? For winning 3 World Series?
If you're a fucking manager and you win 3 World Series, come on.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's a G.
Yeah, that Bochy ball. He invented reinvented how you manage. Guy was,
it's funny because I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say he invented bocce ball, and I was gonna come kick the shit out of you. I was gonna hop on a plane and come kick you in the fucking back.
No, remember Bochy ball? He was like huge on early substitutions, real small ball, just like nickel and diamond teams.
Yeah. Okay, so my phone just died. Whatever, that's fine. So this we'll go into this story here that Joe West was given
big fat fuck, dude. I looked him up. Jesus Christ.
You've seen him before though, right? You've seen him like
I know, I recognize him immediately, but I didn't know him by the name. Jesus Christ.
He's a real fat bastard, dude. He so Joe West sued, Paul Lo Duca, right?
Yes.
So he's apparently I didn't know this at all. Joe West sued Paul Lo Duca over stuff that he said on a podcast.
Oh boy.
Which that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Hopefully the fucking cancel culture doesn't come for me, So
what? Dude, that's crazy. Okay, keep going.
So Paul Lo Duca on a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you remember Billy Wagner? I think he might be in the Hall of Fame. He was a relief closer through like 112 miles an hour. So Paul Lo Duca was sued for defamation in 2019 by Paul Lo Duca. I can't fucking talk. Joe West sued Paul Lo Duca for defamation in 2019 after Lo Duca said on a podcast his former Mets teammate Billy Wagner bribed Joe West into giving him a big strike zone by letting him use his 1957 vintage Chevy. Here's what Paul Lo Duca said on the podcast. We were playing a really tight game against the Phillies, and Billy Wagner comes in from out of the bullpen, Lo Duca said in 2018 or 2019. I used to go to the mound every time and like, what's going on? And he's like, Joe's behind the plate, set up a couple more inches inside. And I was like, are you kidding me? Joe hates me. And he goes, no. Joe loves me. And I go, he hasn't given us a corner all day. And he's like, don't worry about it. He throws 10 pitches and strikes out 3 guys. Joe rings up all 3 guys. 8 out of the 9 pitches were at least 3 to 4 inches inside, not even close. Guys were throwing bats and everything. Joe walks off the field. Go back into the clubhouse. I'm like, what the fuck just happened right now? Wagner winks at me and says, Paul Lo Duca says, well, what's the secret? He goes, Joe loves antique cars. So every time he comes into town, I lend him my 57 Chevy. Who's fucking Don McLean? To go to the fucking levee, and drive it around so he opened up the strike zone for me. So he's saying that Billy Wagner told him that every time that Joe West comes into town, he lets him drive his old car, and then so then Joe West is fucking like, yeah, okay, now you'll win the game because you let me drive your old stupid car.
So the fact that he's retelling a story that was told to him and he got sued over that.
No, he's not retelling a story. He's telling the story and saying what Billy Wagner told him.
Right. Well, okay. He's quoting Billy Wagner, though, is what I'm saying.
Yes. But so West, because we'll get to this. West declared in his lawsuit that Lo Duca's comments damaged his integrity and character, threatened to severely damage his chances of being voted into the Hall of Fame, and that those elected in the Hall of Fame, as outlined in the decision, earn at least $250,000 a year simply for speaking engagements and card shows. So like baseball card shows, you go there and be fat.
Nobody wants an umpire fucking. By the way,
he won $500,000.
How funny is it that he's that fat and he made a living by working, behind a plate? A big fat ass motherfucker.
Dude, Joe S is perfect for fat jocks. So check this out, though. Check this shit out. I like Paul Lo Duca. Paul Lo Duca.
Joe West.
Paul Lo Duca is a great catcher, but I just saw this stat where somebody did the numbers on this fucking bitch right here, because Wagner and Lo Duca played together in 2007, and Joe West, all this shit is documented. So Paul Lo Duca is a fucking idiot. That it's completely fabricated because Joe West never was behind the plate whenever Billy Wagner was throwing to Paul Lo Duca. West was only the home plate umpire one time whenever Wagner and Paul Lo Duca were both on the Mets, and Wagner never pitched in that game.
So he's lying completely.
He's lying. He's fucking, he's Chris Kiley, dude. Yeah.
He admitted to it.
Paul Lo Duca?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he admitted to steroids, dude. Those post steroids makes you a pot stirrer, dude. It's like Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire,
dude,
Roger Clemens.
I told you my Jose Canseco story, right?
Yes.
Well, I'll retell it here on
tell the fans.
Tell the fans what I got going on. Old Joey, Jose Canseco was doing a home run derby tour where he's going to a bunch of minor league stadiums in like 2014 or something, and was going to a bunch of minor league stadiums. And then before the game, he's doing a home run derby, and then he'd sign a bunch of autographs. It's a fucking cash grab. But so me and a couple of my buddies, because I used to work for the team, or maybe I was still working for the team at the time, we got to shag balls during the Jose Canseco home run derby. And he hit, do you know how many home runs he hit?
I do, but let him know.
0. He hit 0 home runs in the home run derby.
He came where he's supposed to just hit home runs.
Literally all anybody wanted to see him do was hit home runs. And he hit the ball fucking hard. I caught a few of them. He was hitting it fucking rightly hard as shit. He was hitting singles, doubles, triples if you're fast, but 0 of these balls went over the fence. And this field, normal size, 315 down left, 315 down right, but it's a tall fence, so it was only 354 in center. So he had ample opportunity to hit these balls over the fence, and he did not.
That's the best. I hope he didn't hit one on the entire tour.
Yeah, dude. I think Jose Canseco is very funny. His Twitter is great. He's fucking
he's trying to date J-Lo right now super hard. He's trying to steal her from A-Rod. Well,
he's real funny. But they broke up. Do you know that you can bet on who Kim Kardashian's next boyfriend is going to be? James Harden's way up there.
Is he up there?
Yeah, he's like the leading thing. Donald Trump's also on the list, but you can bet on Donald Trump to date Kim Kardashian.
I mean, you love long odds.
Yeah, I do. Hey, buddy.
Donald Trump goes on one date with her. I win 10 grand.
Like, hey, come on. Why don't you just go out with the guy? See what happens. Come on, Melania. She doesn't care.
Get Donnie on the horn. Donnie, listen, I'll split it with you. 60.
Yeah, I'm rigging bets for J-Lo to go on a date with fucking Donald Trump.
Dude,
it's a shoo-in, Boki. It's a shoo-in.
Jose Canseco also boxed for a little while.
Yeah, he boxed. Didn't he box against Shaq?
It doesn't look like it happened. It looked like it was promoted. Shaq versus Jose Canseco, breaking down who would win the Battle of the Behemoths. That's not a Battle of the Behemoths. Shaq is literally a foot taller than Jose Canseco and 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah, maybe they were just maybe Jose Canseco was just trying to box Shaq, which is also very funny.
Yeah, because even if they get a 70-30 contract, that would be a real ticket seller.
Yeah, dude, Jose Canseco, man. Jose
Canseco
Canseco
just booked a fight.
Yeah, isn't he a fucking 100 years old?
He's 59 years old. Yeah, he's fighting the last guy Tyson fought professionally before, this Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Wasn't Tyson trying to fight Holyfield?
I think Holyfield's getting a warm up in.
What are these people? What are these people doing?
Oscar De La Hoya just booked a fight. Another big one, Marco Barrera just booked a fight, and it's like you probably haven't even heard of him, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's great. He's an incredible Hall of Fame fighter, but
is he that you got a big duty in your pants guy?
No.
That guy kicks ass. I don't remember who that guy is, but
got a big duty in your pants.
No, what does that guy say? Hey, if you think that I'm just going out here to get my ass kicked, you got a big dump in your pants.
That's that Irish guy that Tyson annihilated.
Dude, is he Irish or Italian? He's hilarious.
McNeely.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Peter McNeely. Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he still does podcasts all the time, and when he does a podcast from his house, like a Zoom one, it's just pictures. It's like 19 different pictures of him fighting Tyson in the same fight, like right behind him.
He probably makes a fucking living off Cameo, dude.
Yeah. So I tell Tyson, I look him right in the eye, say, I'm gonna whoop your ass, right? So then, the story happens, he whoops my ass, and they're like, all right.
He's like, anyways, happy birthday, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly.
So there I am getting my ass kicked by Mike. He just does, it's like a 1 minute video, 50 seconds of just him explaining that he got his ass kicked by Mike Tyson. He's like, yeah, okay, well, happy anniversary.
Yeah, so I spent the next 3 months throwing up in my fucking underwear. I couldn't see, saw white spots everywhere. Tyson beat the shit out of me.
It turns out I had a dump in my pants.
Please RSVP to Joe's bar mitzvah if you can.
That's what the Cameo is for. Oh, damn it, dude.
Bruce, I hear a New York Yankee had to shave his beard.
You heard correctly, Mr. Vokey. Brian Vokey, come on down.
You're listening to Sports Unleashed. So, Bruce, I hear the Yankees, they got real stringent rules on appearance. Is that right?
Yeah. So, Rougned Odor, mostly known for punching Jose Bautista that one time. And
that was a fight. Yeah.
He rocked him, dude. Rougned Odor is not a big guy. So, Rougned Odor got traded to the Yankees. He had a big beard. And because of the Yankees' weird policy of that everyone has to be like clean cut, he had to shave his beard. So, here's what the policy actually is. Policy was started in 1973 by George Steinbrenner, reportedly after seeing several players' hair covering their numbers during a performance of the Star Spangled Banner, which on Wikipedia, they link you to the Star Spangled Banner if you're not familiar. And he wrote down their numbers because he didn't know their names and instructed them to cut their hair. And then he had introduced the policy for the Yankees. The official policy, all players, coaches, and male executives, which female executives are allowed to do this, are forbidden to display any facial hair other than mustaches, except for religious reasons. Scalp hair may not be grown below the collar. Long sideburns and mutton chops are not specifically banned. This is because Steinbrenner wanted the Yankees to adopt a corporate attitude, and they say that they think it's because Steinbrenner was a veteran of the whatever.
How much you want to bet that for religious reasons was added in at least 2000?
Yeah, very, very, very recently. So the policy raised some objections for the team. Don Mattingly openly defied the Yankees management request for him to cut his hair. And in response, they removed him from the starting lineup and fined him repeatedly until he promised to fucking cut it.
Yeah, so this was a famous the origins of this were like the Oakland A's when they were winning World Series in the 70s, they were defiantly the opposite of this.
100%. Raleigh Fingers with that fucking half pipe mustache he had.
Catfish Hunter and all those Oakland A's, they were like, it was like out in the public. They said it. Yeah. Like they were like, fuck this Yankees corporate look. We're the hippy dippy fucking whatever Oakland A's. And then another big thing that this came up again was the Red Sox when the Red Sox in 2003, 2004, when there was like peak Red Sox Yankees rivalry for this century, when Johnny Damon and all those guys had long hair, beards, and mustaches, Millar and Mueller and all those guys, they looked like fucking cavemen. And it was like that exact same contrast that the A's provided to the Yankees. But then it was a huge deal when Johnny Damon got into free agency, left the Red Sox, went to the Yankees, and had to chop his fucking hair off and shave his fucking face. It was the most sellout looking move you could ever see in your life.
Yeah, it was fucking bullshit. It's just so lame. You know what's funny, dude? This is a fucking also Lou Piniella, who's fucking hilarious. He challenged the rule during spring training in Fort Lauderdale, saying that Jesus had long hair. And then Steinbrenner responded to this request for exemption by pointing to a nearby swimming pool, saying, if you can walk on water, you can wear your hair any way you want.
Damn, take that, dude. But also, Jesus had an afro. Let's be honest.
Dude, but also what a chode Don Mattingly is. Because Don Mattingly was the guy who I just said in the story had defied the thing, was like, this is bullshit, and was getting fined for whatever. And then in 2016, when Mattingly became the manager for the Marlins, he introduced a complete ban on facial hair for any players.
Are you serious?
100%. What a fucking joke.
Also, Don Mattingly, that's fucking embarrassing. But also, Don Mattingly was in an era where like you could be like president and have a big Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah.
But like, why would you do it then? Like in the 2000s, barely anybody it was only the Red Sox. They were the only animal looking, I guess nowadays there's big beards again with Charlie Blackmon, Justin Turner. There's a few iconic beards out there. Not a lot though.
Yeah, it's so lame. And this is the kind of shit that Trevor Bauer is always talking about, is like, what are you doing?
But it's just like the Yankees. I don't understand how anybody could ever be a fan of the Yankees. Everything about them is terrible. Like their rules about their appearances, the fact that they won like 29 World Series in the, from like 1901 to 1950. Like who the fuck?
Yeah, I don't care about those. You know who the Yankees are? Are those kids that the kids in the Sandlot play against?
Yes, or the fucking Iceland team and the Mighty Ducks.
100%.
Yeah. They're the bad guys. If you're a Yankee
they really
fan,
are the bad guys.
Actively rooting for the bad guys. Just be a Mets fan.
Yeah, but people from New York, they like that bad guy thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're from fucking New York, we're the bad guys.
It's bad in a corporate Wall Street way, not like I'm going to whoop your ass. You want that kind of bad boys? Go to the Mets. Go smoke crack with Darryl Strawberry or fucking, you know what I mean? Like, snort
go send pictures of your dick to other people.
Yeah, go Eiffel Tower somebody with Doc Gooden. Like, if you really want some street life, go to the fucking Mets.
Damn, dude, I guess the Mets do kick ass now.
They rule, dude. Fucking smoking crack and fucking horse. Like, that's what sports are about.
Yeah.
And I mean that for all sports. If Megan Rapinoe wants to go out and do some crack and Eiffel Tower somebody, I'm all for it. I love it. It makes me now all of a sudden I'm watching soccer.
Yeah, it's a silly game.
And that's rule, dude.
My brother-in-law just texted me and said, Dogecoin ?
Oh boy. Let's wrap it up there. Yankees fucking suck. If you learned anything from this episode, learn that Maxim Vlasov is a blue-collar fighter, just as much of a blue-collar fighter as Joe Smith Jr. The Yankees fucking suck. I'll say it again. The Red Sox rule. The Celtics rule. Is there anything else they should have learned? Oh, Julian Edelman, not a Hall of Famer. Bumgarner, not a Hall of Famer. Posey, Hall of Famer.
There you go. Madison Bumgarner, he's actually a fucking bum gardener, dude. Let's go.
Joe West is a fat fuck. Paul Lo Duca is a liar. I like this recap stuff. This is kind of nice. And then all the other shit we talked about. So, guys, go ahead. Hug your mother. Tell her you love her. Remember, it's really important. You never know how many days you have left with her.
Kiss a goodnight for me.